Imagine money like a safety rope. A higher salary makes the rope longer, but a higher lifestyle is you, tying rocks to your own legs. You do not fall immediately, but every step gets heavier. I am Miles, and this video is for entertainment, not financial advice. All characters and situations are fictional, created only for illustration. 3 years ago, Noah got a promotion he had chased for a long time in tech. His income jumped from $85,000 to $120,000 a year, the kind of raise that makes you want to celebrate on the spot. He still remembers reading that email, heart racing, thinking, finally, I will be okay. Noah believed life would start to feel easier. He would build a real emergency fund, invest consistently, and stop letting payday control his breathing. In his head, money stress was a problem for low-income people, and higher-income people just needed a bit of discipline. But today, Noah earns close to $135,000 a year. The strange part is his savings did not get thicker, it got thinner than before the promotion. He checks his banking app more often now, and every time, the feeling is not relief, it is a tight squeeze in his chest. Noah is not flashy. He does not buy luxury watches, he does not lease sports cars, he does not live like a movie. He just upgraded because it felt deserved. A brighter apartment, a newer car to make life easier, a few services for convenience, the kind of modern dopamine spending where you feel tired and you buy a little relief. Each decision made sense on its own, small enough to feel harmless. But together, they became a bag of rocks tied to his ankles, heavier month after month. Noah did not get trapped by one big mistake, he got trapped by many reasonable choices. If you have ever gotten a raise and still felt pulled backward, the rest of this video is a map. I will show you a simple calculation most people never do, a way to turn every lifestyle upgrade into the number of hours of your life you are paying. When you see that number, you will understand why some people earn more, yet feel less free. The problem starts with how your brain measures money. You hear $135,000 a year, and it feels like a mountain. But you spend in months, card swipes, and auto renewals, so each cost feels like a pebble. Noah thought the same way. When he moved, he only saw $600 more per month and told himself, $600 is nothing, but a month is just one frame, and life is the full film. $600 a month is $7,200 a year. If you want the colder version, that is a full work week taken from you, then another week, then a few more days every single year. And this is not even counting the thing that makes it heavier. Taxes. Taxes are a toll gate before money reaches your pocket. You can earn $1, but you do not keep a full dollar. So when you say, I spend $600 more, what you really mean is, I must work more hours than 600 divided by my hourly pay, because my take-home hourly pay is already cut first. To make it real for Noah, I asked him to do one simple conversion. Take the extra monthly cost, then ask how many hours of work it takes to produce that amount after taxes. When you convert money into hours, it stops being abstract and starts feeling personal. And that is when Noah went quiet. The new apartment was no longer a one-time choice, it was a time contract that pulls from his life every month. If you see yourself in this, next I will give you a tiny formula to gather all those pebbles and measure how much they are dragging you down. I call that number the hourly price of comfort. It sounds dry, but it does what a bank statement cannot do. It tells you how much time you are selling to live your current version. It does not shame you for spending. It simply forces the price into daylight. You do not need anything complicated. Just remember your life has 2 layers of spending. One layer is the base, what you need to live normally. The other layer is the extra, the upgrades you added after your income rose. Noah sat down and wrote the extras from the last 3 years. The apartment plus 600, the car plus 250, convenient services, delivered meals, subscriptions, slightly pricier habits because he was too busy. All of it combined into a number he had never added up before. When he finished, I told him, do not look at it as money. Look at it as hours per year you work only to feed that extra layer. The unit change alone rewires your thinking, because hours are not something you can borrow like money. There is one question I use to cut through the fog. If this thing was not an auto charge, but a direct offer, work this many extra hours per year to keep it, would you sign yes? When the trade is stated that clearly, many things fall out of your hands without any lecture. There is a trap that makes the number swell larger than you think. It is not only the extra spending, it is extra spending multiplied by something invisible. And when that multiplier runs across years, a few small choices become a huge gap later. That invisible multiplier is simple. Money disappears before it reaches you. Many people think if I spend $1 more, I only need to earn $1 more. In reality, to hold $1 in your hand, you often must earn more than $1 because others take their share first. So when Noah says, I only added about $1,200 per month to make life more convenient, the real translation is, I added a new bag of rocks, and I must pull it with more work hours than I expected. The worst part is the pleasure from upgrades is usually short. The hours required to pay for them are long. I told Noah something that sounds cold, but it is useful. Lifestyle does not destroy you with one punch. It tightens the grip in small, steady, reasonable squeezes. It does not arrive as a mistake, it arrives as a reward. And when those squeezes become normal, you start depending on your current salary just to avoid falling behind. Work stops being where you earn money and becomes where you pay the fee to maintain your life. You are not only working to live, you are working so you are not allowed to stop. Now stretch the story farther, because the biggest loss is not this month's bill, it is the years that follow. 1 hour you trade at age 25 is not just 1 hour, it is a seed you never planted, so it never gets a chance to grow over time. Money can come back, but the time for money to compound does not. Imagine two people start working at 25 with the same income and the same base lifestyle. The first person gets raises and keeps most of the difference as a protected gap. Quiet, not flashy, just steadily building. The second person also gets raises, but upgrades their lifestyle by about half each time because it feels deserved and because everyone does it. In the first 10 years, you barely see a difference. Both still work, pay rent, travel sometimes, and feel tired on some days. But at some point, the first person begins to feel light because they have options. They can take months off, switch jobs, say no. The second person feels the opposite. The higher they climb, the more they fear falling, because each new income level comes with a new block of fixed costs. This is what most people miss. The cost is not one extra expense. The cost is locking your future to a mandatory income level. You think you are living better, but you are actually narrowing your exit. Freedom does not vanish in one day. It vanishes in auto-renewals. Noah finally understood why he felt exhausted. Not because he was weak, but because he was pulling a more expensive life with the same legs. And when his legs hurt, he would reward himself to numb it, and the rocks got heavier. There is a simple way to take control back. I call it the unit swap question. You do not ask, is this worth the money? Because that question is easy to twist. You ask, if I must work exactly these extra hours per year just to keep this, would I agree? Noah started with the easy targets. A delivered meal habit, an entertainment subscription he barely used, an expensive gym only because it was near the office. When he converted each one into hours, some of them instantly looked ridiculous without anyone judging him. Here is a truth that sounds harsh, but helps. Many upgrades feel great right after you buy them, then they become normal while you keep paying the same price. You are paying to maintain a neutral feeling, something you already had when life was simpler, you just did not notice it then. I am not telling you to live like a monk. I am telling you to upgrade like someone awake, not someone sliding on autopilot. Keep a few things you truly love, and cut the things that exist only because you got used to paying. In the next parts, I will show how to build a protected gap between your income and your lifestyle, so every raise stops turning into new rocks on your ankles. And I will show the tiny rule Noah used, so his future started to feel lighter again, starting this month. I told Noah the only way the safety rope actually saves you is if you stop tying rocks to your own legs. It sounds simple, but it hits the deepest habit people have, turning every raise into a new obligation. You do not need to live miserably, you just need to create a gap and protect it the way you protect your breathing. Noah asked what the gap was. I said it is the distance between your income and your lifestyle, the part you do not let convenience erase. That gap does not give you an instant dopamine hit, so people ignore it. But it buys you the right to make mistakes, the right to rest, the right to leave. I asked Noah to try a small rule. Every time his income increases, he is allowed to upgrade, but only with what remains, not with the full rush of excitement. A portion of the raise must go straight into safety before his eyes land on a new purchase. When the rule is set in advance, your brain stops fighting later. Noah realized something bitter. He used to think he was trapped because his salary was not high enough, but he was trapped because his lifestyle kept sprinting right behind it. Every time he stepped up, he built a wall behind himself, until turning back was no longer an option. The gap is the door you leave open, and this is where many people finally wake up. You can live in a nicer apartment, or you can buy yourself a few calm months if you lose your job. You can drive a newer car, or you can buy the power to refuse a toxic workplace. The moment you switch from, "Do I have enough money?" to "Do I have enough options?" the game changes. Noah started cutting rocks off his ankles, but not by smashing everything at once. He chose to cut the things that no longer created real value, only a habit of paying. That is when he understood why it felt hard. Because the pain was not the money, it was the fear of falling behind. Some days, Noah felt embarrassed imagining a cheaper version of his life. He was afraid people would see it as failure, especially in a social media world where everyone displays life like an advertisement. I told him, "This is when you change the scoreboard. Do not compare apartments. Compare how many months of freedom you can survive." Noah switched back to a normal gym, and at first it felt like a downgrade. But after a few weeks, what he gained was not better equipment, it was lightness. He checked his bank app less. He needed less self-reassurance. His mind got quieter, because his body could feel he was moving in the right direction. He also looked directly at his dopamine spending. Tired, he ordered delivery. Bored, he bought another subscription. Stressed, he rewarded himself with a small purchase. Each one felt like a painkiller. Quick relief, then gone, while the bill stayed. Noah did not hate himself for it, he just changed the way he soothed himself, from buying new things to buying peace. I told Noah, you do not need to beat other people. You only need to escape your own treadmill. Some will call you cheap, some will call you boring. But when you have a gap, you own something they do not yet have: choice. And in an unstable world, choice is the real asset. Now I want you to do what Noah did. Look straight at the exchange rate between your life and your lifestyle. Take the extra spending you added each month, the part that exists only for upgrades, and imagine it as a full year. Then divide it by what you actually take home per hour, and you will see how many hours per year you are selling just to feed that extra layer. When Noah finished the calculation, he went quiet. Because the number was no longer money, it was early mornings, late nights, weekends that never fully became rest. And once you see it as hours, you stop saying, "It is not that much anyway." I reminded Noah of one more thing. Taxes sit like a grinding machine between you and your lifestyle. If you want $1 to spend, you usually have to earn more than $1 to keep it. So every upgrade does not just take your hours, it takes more hours than you expect, because you are pulling rocks with pre-tax effort. Once you understand that, you stop rushing into long monthly commitments. Noah started to feel lighter, not because he became rich overnight. He felt lighter because the safety rope stopped tightening and his legs stopped collecting rocks. He had a gap, even if it was small, and that gap was like air in a room. No one shows it off, but without it, you cannot breathe. In the next part, I will help you turn that gap into something automatic, so you do not have to fight every month, and so freedom can grow even while you sleep. I told Noah, if you want freedom to grow while you sleep, you must turn the gap into something automatic, not something that depends on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, systems stay. You do not beat lifestyle traps with willpower. You beat them by setting rules first, then letting the rules work for you. Noah did something very simple. He separated money the moment his paycheck landed. One part went to fixed spending. The rest went to an account he called the Freedom Account. He did not wait until the end of the month to see what was left, because at the end of the month there is often nothing left to see. The best part is that when the automatic transfer happens first, your brain stops treating the gap as spending money. It becomes backup air, not glamorous. But without it, you panic. And when a new upgrade appears, he does not ask, is it nice? He asks, is it worth tightening the safety rope again? Noah still allowed enjoyment, but he changed the style of enjoyment, from emotional spending to planned spending. His rope still got longer as income rose, he just stopped tying rocks to his own legs. Now I want you to notice what people love to ignore, the power of time. A small amount kept consistently, not huge, just steady, can create a massive difference across years. Not because you are smarter, but because you stop burning your future for today's convenience. I gave Noah an image. If he keeps an extra $300 each month, just $300, and lets it run for 20 years, the ending number can grow to well over $150,000, depending on growth and volatility. The point is not the exact total, the point is the meaning. $300 a month does not buy a dramatic change today, but it buys a door in the future. That door might be a few months to breathe when you are exhausted. It might be the power to switch careers when you cannot tolerate a toxic environment anymore. It might be the ability to say no without fear of the next bill. When you have a gap, life stops being driven by fear. Noah began to understand a kind of wealth he never respected before. Not wealth to show off, but wealth that keeps you from being forced. And strangely, as he bought fewer short dopamine hits, his mind felt calmer, because his body knew he was walking toward an exit. I want to close with a truth that is cold, but fair. The problem is not upgrading. The problem is upgrading without knowing the exchange rate between your life and your lifestyle. If you never measure it, you will always feel behind, even as your income rises. Noah did not become an extreme saver. He became a chooser. He kept what truly made life better and removed what existed only because he got used to paying. His safety rope finally did its real job, keeping him steady instead of tightening around him every day. If you do only one thing after this video, do the unit swap like Noah. Look at your extra upgrade spending, then convert it into hours per year you are selling just to maintain that extra layer. When you see that number, your decisions get clearer, not so you live less, but so you live with more options. I am Miles. If this changed how you see the words, just a little more each month, hit like and subscribe, and leave one comment. How many hours do you want back this year? I will see you in the next one.